Hello, everyone. I hope you survived your first full week of online classes. I'm well aware that this is probably not your only class, so for those of you that were in person for some classes and now find those online, we all feel your pain. It's been a trying time for all of us. So, at any rate, I wanted to talk to you about our next Learning Plan 2 and kind of circle back to Learning Plan 1 just to mention something. Um, Learning Plan 1 that was open this whole week, I had asked you to pick a topic that you were going to carry out throughout this whole class. So any work that I give to you, you're going to apply to this topic. And I want you to zero in on just one of these. And since I'm recording this on Sunday morning and this is due tonight, I'm guessing you've already done this, but just in case or if you need clarification, keep your topic narrow. So some example that management might consider and therefore needs some research on is the introduction of a new product. Should we do something? Should we make this new product? What's important? What's going to make it sell? How much can we charge? That type of thing. Or introducing an existing product into a new market. Is there demand for it? Maybe they have a product that just isn't moving well and they want to figure out how to improve sales. That's another individual topic that could require research. Customer satisfaction. Are you getting a lot of unhappy customers that call into your phone lines? Why is that? What can you do to fix that? Or maybe you're going to rebrand. That's a big undertaking, and if you're going to do that, why are you doing it, and is it a good idea? So when you're conducting market research, you are not inventing or developing something new. You're just doing the research behind it. You're also not the final decision maker. You're part of the marketing team. They come to you to get these answers, and then managers, higher ups, make that decision. So for this week, this LP1, you were asked to zero in on a topic and then think of some secondary data, data that already exists. So census material, government material, databases that already exist that can help you with your research. That's what you were looking for this week. So the reason I bring this up is that in the next learning plan that I'm going to be opening in a moment, the very first thing that I want you to do before you even move on to this is I want you to share what you're doing and get some feedback from your classmates. So by Tuesday night, March 31st at 11:59 p.m., midnight, I want you to come down to this discussion board and basically just in a short text form explain what your topic is and why you chose it. And it's kind of just a short version of the video that you produced for me without talking about your actual secondary resources that you found. But I want you then, after that, to go back and comment on at least 2 of your classmates' posts. And remember that maybe they're too broad and you want to help them zero in on it. Maybe you have some ideas that you could throw in. If this were an in-person class, we'd be brainstorming this all in class and really helping each other get on the right path. So this discussion board is just going to be a quick down and dirty, get to know your classmates and what everybody's working on. So do that first before you even start on LP2. And then eventually after Tuesday, go ahead and go back and do some commenting. All right, week 2, we're going to be talking about qualitative research. So quantitative with the N is the what. This is when you ask the same questions in the same order and you give people the same options, like which do you like, bread, milk, cheese? And they can choose 1, 2, or 3, but everybody has those same options. Everybody has the same question. Everybody gets them in the same order. You can do a large sample group with this, and it's like a statistical analysis. That's quantitative. What we're shifting into this week is qualitative, up here with an L. This is understanding the whys, the hows, the background behind your people, your customers or potential customers. So when we do qualitative research, we're doing open-ended questions, not yes, no's. And you're the way that the questions go, you start with some basic ideas, but they can go totally off on a tangent and dig deeper and deeper into why they're answering the way they are. This is how you're going to get much more information. So you need a lot less participants, obviously. It's more time consuming, but you do finally find out really what motivates them, what makes them tick. So what you're going to hear in this video series right here, Marketing Foundations, it's excellent. The whole series is about 1 hour, so it's not a big one, and it's really good. You're going to find out that you might know your customers or know about them, their age, where they live, their income ranges. That's knowing about them, but really knowing them, what makes them tick, is where the qualitative research comes in. So you're going to find out what their pain points are, how they measure success, what they can't live without. A pain point would be something that when this happens to you, you're just done, you walk out. If I go into a store and I only have one thing and it's not critical to my life and the lines are, super deep, that's a pain point for me, and I will leave. And if that matters to that store that I stay a customer there, what can they do? Is it worth it to them? So that's what a pain point is. So you're going to go through this video series, and this is what it looks like, qualitative research. Over here on the right-hand side, you have your overview, the contents. This is typically where we look through the different topics and how long they're going to last. We also have exercise files, and you can download them here, or if you would like, I've already put them in Blackboard. So this is a single zip file, just like you would have grabbed from lynda.com, or if you want to just look at them individually, I've pulled down, that zip file contains these 8 PDFs, and so here's an example of some screener questions. And if you want to have this open on your screen while you're watching the video, it's a great resource. If you're able to print from home, some of these are very much worth printing and having as reference, but you are going to need to look at all of them at some point. So make sure that you notice in Learning Plan 2 that I have them for you down here. Let's see, what else? Oh, back in the course, in the contents, as you're going through this, in this section of number 2, the elements of research, after you get to creating a screener, let's see, 1, 2, 3, it's going to ask you to stop and use what you know so far about the idea that they're talking about, which is a company called Kettle Brew, and write your own screener questions. And then on the next video, this one, they're going to come back and say, okay, what did you do? Here's what we did. Here are some ideas. So I really encourage you, between these 2 videos, to stop and to think about it and pencil out some ideas before you move on to this answer, if you will, to make sure that you are understanding the concepts and it makes sense. In class, again, in face-to-face, we would actually do this. We would stop and work on this. Also, this next one, creating a discussion guide, they walk you through the points, and then they say, okay, now it's your turn. Please do this for Kettle Brew. Please pause, jot some things down, and then go ahead and watch this video, which is their version of what they did. When it gets to a timeline, that's nothing that you're going to actually do right now, but you do need to understand how you can't move on to the next phase if a certain phase isn't done. And if you know the whole report is due in 2 months, you have to use that 2-month grid to really figure out when you block off time for each aspect. And there is a PDF of that as well. So that's what I want you to pay attention to as you're going through this. And when you're done with this series, you will get a certification and a badge that you can add to your LinkedIn profile, which is quite neat as well. So once you're done with this qualitative research course, your homework for the next week, in addition to just this discussion board, You're going to go back to whatever topic, product, or service you decided on in Learning Plan 1, and maybe you've needed to drill down a little or expand it or clarify it after getting feedback from your classmates up here. From now going forward, you're going to be looking at gathering qualitative data. So for that, you're going to have to create 10 screener questions, which you will learn in the video series, and 10 in-depth exploration questions as part of your discussion guide. Again, make sure that you download those exercise files, and they're going to help you quite a bit in creating these. Once you're done, you're going to come back to your friend's Screencast-O-Matic, and you're going to create a short video explaining your questions, so the 10 screeners and the 10 in-depths, and why you chose them. And remember, all of this, everything that you ask in these qualitative research sessions is to find out answers to the problem, the issue at hand, or what you're looking to get to. It's not just extraneous information like, oh, all of our people like dogs. How does that play into the bottom line question that your client is asking? Make sure that you are really detailed with your questions and that you pay attention to the video series to look for things that you shouldn't do, like leading questions, or in the discussion, never a yes-no question. You have to get people talking, and yes and no questions tend to not do that. So when you're done, you're going to put that video in this Dropbox, and it will be due next Sunday, which is April 5th by midnight. So again, I hope everything's going well. I know this is absolute craziness. If you ever have any questions or concerns, please email me, and I will get back to you via email, and or we can set up some sort of a video chat as well. So take care of yourselves and have fun with Learning Plan 2.